Hi, my name is Tiffany Harris, and this is my website. It's not published yet. I haven't quite figured out how to publish it yet, but I'm just previewing it from Dreamweaver, but it still works the same. Um, this is on the outside looking in. That's what I titled it. It's basically a human anatomy and physiology website. Um, Goes over each system of the body, functions of the body, and in each module I have either an exam or a quiz or a little Jeopardy game that I've figured out how to get incorporated in it. Um, on the home page, I just go over the basic introduction of what the anatomy and physiology is, basic definitions of it, and then it goes over pretty much the basic parts of the body. My objectives were to identify bony structures of the human body, identify muscles attached to bony structures, identify organs involved in each organ structure, and then understand the functions of the organ systems. So basically what I wanted to do was to create, I guess, my version of a website that would help students easily learn about the human body, but make it a little bit more fun rather than just straight to the point, learn straight out of the book and then take tests. I just wanted something a little bit fun to add to it. I developed this website using different resources. I pulled some from Pearson Education. Innerbody.com is where I got the majority of my text information from, and I even found some podcasts on iTunes that I published and included into some of my modules. So the first module is bony skeletal system, and like I said, there's the podcast. I just give a basic description of what is involved in the bony skeletal system.
Welcome to the Chapter Review Podcast for Scanlon and Sanders Essentials of Anatomy and Physiology, 6th edition.
Down into each kind of body part, like the spine, the skull, ribs, the extremities, and then it gets into the joints and all that stuff. And then on here it has the functions of the skeletal system. I actually have a functions of the organ systems page, but since I was doing a page on specifically the skeletal system, I just included it all on the same page. And it seems kind of long. The page itself is kind of long. Seems like it has a lot of information jam-packed into it. But I think it mainly looks like that because it's kind of short. It's not completely covering up the whole page, so it kind of makes it spread out longer. But I was actually able to get some images that I think would work really well for students to figure out what the body parts are. I have the hands and the skull, and then I created this quiz. Basically, you just type your name in. Just type my name in. And then click start, and it'll start with the first question. And then you just answer based off of the material that's in the web page, and based off what you may already know or what the student may already know. You just answer the questions to the best of your abilities. So all of the functions following are functions of the skeletal system except, and then you pick whichever choice, and it goes all the way through. Each question, it won't tell you how many you got right until you've actually completed it. So, say I'll just click through some. So I mainly work with anatomy. I work in the health field, and as an MRI tech, I have to know all parts of the body. And so that's kind of what drew me to doing a web page about the human body. And so it's a lot of information. I kind of looked at some of the other web pages, and I think I overdid it when I designed when I had my idea of what I wanted to do. There was so much that's involved in the human body. You can't just stop at basic sections of it. So let's see, fat is stored in the. So I'm just gonna click on through, and then it'll show how many I got right and how many was wrong. Okay, and then it prints out, it shows this little certificate. Hope you enjoyed the quiz. Your score report is presented below. Your certificate of achievement. Tiffany got a score of 53 out of 100, which is terrible, but I was just answering questions. And then it shows you how many questions you got right, how many you got wrong, what's the passing grade, and how long it took you to take it. And then it'll go through all the the questions, what you got wrong and what the correct answers were, and you can actually print this out if you want to use it to study by. And then on the next page, muscular system. I have a YouTube video right here, but since it's not published, it's not going to work. It's just going to show the error. But I also included a podcast below it about the muscle. And again, I just go over the basic information about what's involved in the muscular system. I have an image of the muscles, and then it goes into detail about the different muscle types and where the muscles are according to the bone, where the muscle is inserted and what nerve runs through there or something like that. And I had a Jeopardy game, but it says it won't load right now. I'm not sure why. And then I have a little pre-quiz to start off with, just to see if you remember anything from the skeletal system. The last section, which is the skeletal system. And then you can just go through that. And the next section is organ and organ systems. Again, there was a YouTube video here just describing and going into detail about the organs and the organ systems. And then I listed the basic anatomy. Basically, in this section, I just wanted to be able to list all the organs involved in each organ system in the body. And so that's what I tried to do. I tried to list as many organs in that system as I could, and then I included some pictures, some labeled pictures, so you can at least see what it looks like and what each structure is pointing to. And so I actually have an image for each system of the body. And then again, I have this Jeopardy game, which I'll have to figure out why it's not working on the muscular system page, but You just click through and it goes organ and organ system Jeopardy. And then just like in a Jeopardy game, it goes through the topics that you'll be answering questions on, which is each system, a different system in the body. And then you have questions ranging from 200 to 1,000 points. And then you just click on the point that you want to answer and it'll take you right to the slide. On this one, it doesn't have the pen, or at least I didn't find where it had the pen where you can write on it to answer the question, but you can just answer it in your head if you know it, what number indicates the stomach, and I know the stomach is 17. So I'll click on this right arrow to just figure out what the answer is, and it's 17. And then to go back to the entire game board, just click on the left arrow. And then you can just click on through whatever you want to answer, whichever question you want to answer. What structure does number 1 indicate? I'm going to say either the inferior vena cava or the superior vena cava. I don't remember. And then that's the end of that section. And then functions of organ systems. Again, I have a podcast. On this one, I didn't do a YouTube video because I couldn't find one that just specifically only talked about the functions of the organ system. So I had to use text. And again, because the space is so narrow, it kind of spread the page all the way out, and so it's like it's this long page of information, a never-ending page of information. But I think that if the page was a little bit wider, then it would have been able to completely, spread out and wouldn't look like it's so much information. Even though there are 11 organ systems, so there will be, a lot of information trying to cover each organ system. But just in case I missed anything, I did include a podcast, and it's like 30 minutes. And then again on this one I have a quiz, and then you just type in your name again, and answer questions. There's 15 questions. Like all of the following are functions of the skin except. And I'm going to say that. And then I believe on this one, I, didn't want to just give the option of answering multiple choice questions. I wanted you to actually be able to retain some of the information that you read and learned. So what provides protection to its underlying tissue from pathogens, mechanical damage, and UV light. And I'm going to say skin. I don't know if that's right. The muscles of respiratory acts as a pump, pushing air into and out of the lungs during what process? And I know that that's breathing. And then what are the 6 major functions that take place in the digestive system? And that's already in somewhere down in here. It's ingestion, secretion, mixing and movement, digestion, absorption, and excretion. So those are the 6 steps. I didn't try to just make it extremely hard. I tried to make them as easy as possible. I know most anatomy classes are not that easy. They go more into detail than what I did, but I just wanted to keep it simple. but still enough for a student to gain and learn information about the human body. I know in my anatomy class, we went over, I'd say maybe a chapter over 2 class periods. So our class was jam-packed with a lot of information in very little time. And so, you know, he had a test over like 3 or 4 chapters. That's a lot of information to retain. So I just tried to keep my quizzes simple, and hopefully it'll help someone. Movement, digestion, absorption, excretion. And it doesn't matter whether you type it in uppercase or lowercase. I think it'll give you the correct answer either way. In what organ system does the kidneys maintain the homeostasis of several important internal conditions? So I'm going to type this in uppercase just to double check and see if it matters whether it's typed in upper or lowercase. What is the process of producing sperm and takes place in the testes and epididymis of adult males? Surprisingly, I made an 80 out of 100. And let's see. I'm going to scroll down. So it doesn't, I guess it doesn't really matter how you, well, I think because I put multiple answers in that, on this question I figured that by saying possible correct answers, if you typed it either way, then either way would be right. But I guess that wasn't the case. I guess all you had to do was just type it one specific way. Which my answer was right, even though I typed it in all caps. Okay. And then on the last page, I included my survey. And then I have this, congrats, you have completed this web-based instruction module. And then you just complete the survey, just to let me know your feedback. Just tell me what your grade level was. I put grade level 9 through college sophomore because that was the age range that I was going for. I mean, if it helps anybody else. I guess I should have put other down here just in case you're not technically in school, but you still would like to use the information, you know. I guess I should have put that. But I put the objectives for this web-based instruction module were clear. This web-based instruction module enhanced my learning on the subject. And then you put strongly agree, neutral, disagree, or strongly disagree. And this web-based instruction module explained concepts or ideas in a way that I could understand. This web-based instruction module was appropriate for my grade level. I would recommend this web-based instruction module to someone else. And then the overall rating for this instruction module, and then you just, if you have any feedback or if there's anything that you think I should change, then just type it in, and it has this, it'll tell you if you have this 100% that you've completed the survey. And then just say I just type that. I use Google Forms to do this, so it's supposed to go back to my email address or some kind of way to give me some feedback about how well I did on the module on this website. So, and I skipped the question. 2 questions. And it says it's been recorded and it's been sent to my email. And then I did a little final exam just to sum up everything, just to see how much you've actually learned over the entire website. And again, I use the same website to create the quizzes, and you just type in your name. And start it. And then I actually used 25 questions on the last one. It's kind of a labeling question, and so I don't know if it's going to show up or not. Let's see. And the anatomical position, the subject is erect and facing forward. The appendicular region of the body refers to the arms, hands, legs, and feet. And then again, just go through this. Some of these are, like I said, fairly easy. I didn't try to make them just extremely hard, but I did want to make some, a little bit hard so that you can at least challenge yourself. I wasn't trying to, make no one, I guess, feel like they didn't learn anything because they couldn't answer the questions. So, and I think on my design, I put take at your own risk, but I didn't really mean that because I actually looked at a couple sample A&P final exams, and they were extremely hard. Like I couldn't answer any of the questions just straight off the top of my head, or even based off of the information that I have on my website. But these questions that I have in here are based off the information that's on the website, so it's not just going to be anything that's going to be extremely hard. So I would say this website should be used in supplement to an A&P class, not solely just learn everything off this. Now there is a lot of information on here, and you can very well learn a lot off this website that would probably help you better than what you learn, just straight out of the textbook. But I would say it would be best to use them together because there's so much information about the human body. I just couldn't include everything into, just a website. And, I looked at some example websites from other people, other anatomy websites, and they've said they've built their website over years, and it took years for them to get as much information built in and as what they have. So just being my first time creating a website, I think I did a lot. I think I did a fairly good job because I had so much trouble with this website to start off with, and I kind of got discouraged, and so I switched to Wix, which I didn't like the Wix page because it did not look professional, and so I had to start over again, and then my page wasn't working right again, and then I finally, completely followed the videos that Ms. Hu put up, and I finally got finished. I think it looks pretty good. I hope whoever, uses this website, it definitely helps them to learn about the human body. I don't know if I would publish it for, to go out there for everybody to use, because I'm not sure if, I guess I'm not sure if there will be conflicting information, because there are a lot of websites out there with their own version of about the human body. I'm just not, I guess, confident to put my website out there right now. If I ever, continue to work on it and build on it and get comfortable with Dreamweaver and, create a layout that will work a lot better than what I have, then I think I will publish it. But until then, it's still a work in progress.